If you get off on something, it means you are turned on by something. So this means excite sexually again. Quite a few phrasal verbs are used idiomatically for these kind of things. So yeah, if somebody gets off on something sick, then they are a pervert, something like that. Okay, let's move swiftly on. Let's move on. You remember move on from last time. Let's move on to rub off on. So this means be acquired by regular exposure or experience with something. So I'm hoping by teaching all of these phrasal verbs again and again and again, some of them will rub off on you. Certainly a lot of them rub off on me. Now you might think you already use them, Dave. Well, yeah, I do, but some of them are active and some of them are passive at the back of my mind. But the more I do these phrasal verb lessons, the more new phrasal verbs rub off on me, and I mean ones which I don't already use. So they're very useful for me too, doing these lessons. They help activate passive vocabulary, and I hope that they're rubbing off on you and that you're using them more and more and more. Now, if a woman walks out on her husband, she leaves him. Yeah, that's all it means. Walk out on someone means leave someone in the middle of the marriage or in the middle of the relationship. If somebody walks out on their girlfriend or spouse, it means leave and finish the relationship. Now, if you find out that there's going to be a nuclear war in a few weeks, you might want to stock up on food, supplies, toilet paper, whatever you think you might need for the nuclear holocaust. So to stock up on just means to collect a lot of, buy a lot of in order to use it for the future. I'm not stocking up on anything at the moment because I'm not worried about any nuclear holocaust, but when we get the shopping, we do tend to stock up on some of my favourite bits and pieces, and so stock up on it just means collect a lot of in order to use them in the future. Okay, if you sneak up on someone or creep up on someone, and here we've got different meaning of the up on, which is connected with movement this time and not exams and revision. If you sneak up on someone, you just creep up on them, behind them, so that they don't hear you, and maybe you're going to frighten them, maybe you're going to tap them on the shoulder, maybe you don't want them to see you, so you sneak up on them. But it does mean getting closer and closer and closer, a bit like the way home in on and zero in on meant approach someone, close in on someone. Well, sneak up on someone still means approaching someone, but always from behind and always quietly so that they don't hear you. Now, we spoke about bear on last time, but I realised I forgot about touch on. If you say this topic touches on, I don't know, this topic touches on a certain piece of grammar, or trigonometry touches on a lot of different things regarding triangles, something like that. You just mean it is relevant to, that it is connected to. So it's very similar to bear on or bear upon. So you can say the subject of trigonometry bears on triangles and and the geometry of triangles. Touch on sounds like it just a little bit is connected to it, or it just touches it. It doesn't go into it in detail. It doesn't go into detail, it just touches on this subject. So it's just a bit connected to this subject. But quite a common phrasal verb and very similar to bear on. Now, if you take it out on someone, this means that you've been insulted, you've been offended, and you decide to take all of your anger and negative emotions and put them on someone else or something else. So it's very negative. So perhaps perhaps I tell off my daughter, and she's very angry, and she decides to take it out on her little brother. I'm not saying she does this. Usually she doesn't. Occasionally she does. But this just means that she gets angry with her brother because somebody got angry with her, and so she takes it out on someone else. Okay? It's just when you decide when you get treated badly and you decide to treat someone else badly in order to make yourself feel better, it's very negative. Okay, if you set on someone, if you set your dog on someone, it means you release your dog so that it attacks someone. But if three thieves set on you, then they come at you, they run at you, they attack you in some kind of way. And these two both mean attack as well. And so I thought I would remind you of those because we have done phrasal verbs with at before. Now, when you are set on doing something, it means you are certain about some kind of plan. You've made up your mind, you've decided that this is definitely going to happen. So maybe you are set on going to university and studying medicine. That would mean that you are certain about that that's your plan for the future. You are definitely going to do that. And this is a very common phrasal verb. It means just to be certain about something in the future, to be 100% convinced that that's what you want to do with your future. Okay, if you settle on a decision, it means you finally make a decision. You make your last decision and that's it. You've decided, you're not going to change your mind anymore. So maybe you're buying a new car and in the end you settle on a Mercedes. It means you finally decide that's the car I want. If you go back on your word, then you break a promise. So again, it's very negative, very often used with go back on your word, but you could go back on something else like a promise. And yeah, it just means break that promise. It means that you don't stick to your promises. Remember stick to from a previous lesson? You don't keep to your promises. You break them. You go back on your promise. Okay. Gang up on means bully, but in a group, so it means pick on someone as a group of you. So I think kids often do this, unfortunately. In schools, they'll often pick on one child and it will be as a group. Lots of them will do it. Lots of them will pick on this child. And so that means that they are ganging up on the child. And lastly, dawn on means to occur to someone. So I've already used this one today. I said it suddenly dawned on me that I had forgotten to mention tuck in phrasal verbs with in. So I mean it suddenly occurred to me. So dawn on means to suddenly realise something, to suddenly remember or understand something, and it's usually used like that. It suddenly dawned on me that, or it dawned on me that, it occurred to me that, it suddenly dawned on me that. Okay, if you've enjoyed this lesson, please like the video underneath. I hope to see you all soon, and any questions, specific questions about how we use these phrasal verbs, please put them under the video and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks very much for watching and I'll see you all soon.